Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number week number three of the World of Thunder Esports League. Miller Family Trucking Super Stocks here at Weedsport Speedway. I'm Alex Robinson with Sean Neistat. Sean, how are you today?
3, 4, 2, 1. I think I'm okay. We're doing good over here, Alex. It is a great day to tune in. A Super Sunday fun day here on Ultimate Dirt TV. And we've got a lot of excitement over the next several hours, kicking things off here with these Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Of course, we'll have some 410 sprints coming up in a while. We got the big blocks, and we'll cap off the night with the Mimi's Makings in Motion. Warrior Logistics super late models coming up later tonight. And what a great day it is to be. There's a lot of people having some bad weather. So, you know what? Let's just go into the virtual world. It looks beautiful here in Weedsport, New York for a day of racing.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm looking at a beautiful sight here on my screen. Then I turn right and look out my window, and I just see this lovely white stuff falling through the sky, and it makes you depressing. But then you look back and you see racing on your screen, and it gets you back to excitement.
You see, I'm the one in South Dakota. I'm supposed to have the bad weather outside my window, and it's cloudy here today. But I've got nothing like what you guys have going on there today.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Well, we had freezing rain, and we've had our share of snow this. Actually, no, we haven't had much snow this winter. I'll take it, but it's been a little cold lately. But it's beautiful outside here for some Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks coming up. Looks like 34 drivers have checked in for action here tonight, and qualifying getting underway. Looks like qualifying's about done.
And you see Kyle Surratt is set quick time there. Sage Luther, William Hargraves, Corey Austin, Carl Kilgore. So just look at the top five, and then you got to look down further. And 12th was Alex Bergeron there. So will this be another week of another humongous upset? We'll see, but here it is again. Kyle Surratt goes quick time. Sage Luther, William Hargraves, and Corey Austin, they will be on the pole for your 4 heat races, followed by Carl Kilgore. He finished 5th in qualifying, then Stifler, Massey, Gage, Scalf, and more. That was your top 10 in qualifying.
You mentioned Bergeron. Of course, it was a little under a week ago. Monday night, he sealed up that World Championship with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car iRacing Series. It looks like heat race number 1 for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks about to make their way onto the track. And let's take a look at that starting lineup, Alex.
On the pole from Bulletproof Motorsports, the 18 of Kyle Surratt. Outside, Precision Performance, the 19 of Carl Kilgore.
Second row has the 50 for $1 Million Motorsports. It's Eric Scalf on the inside. Jacob McCoy and the McCoy Brothers Racing number 14 starting outside row number 2.
Trevor Mattingly will start on the inside of row number 3. Outside the 999 from Mid-South Dirt Slingers, it's Corey Sibley.
Timothy Korkiakowski in the number 40 lines up inside the 4th row. Jonathan Wiley, the 909 from the Mid-South Dirt Slingers stables. He'll start in position number 8.
And rounding out the field, the 76 from Ohio, it's Ryan Bowserman.
So that is your starting lineup for our first heat race here tonight for these Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks, and we're 1 lap away from getting underway here at the Weedsport Speedway. Alex, let's talk about this racetrack, Weedsport. Pretty tough racetrack to get around here tonight. These drivers are going to have to be on their game.
Oh, yeah, and you see they're going through 1 and 2 here, and that's going to be the tricky part. Is 1 and 2 is one of the hardest spots to get through. I can imagine these drivers are going to have a problem there if they all get desperate real quickly. 3 and 4 it's fine there. You can go full throttle, but 1 and 2, you're going to see a lot of cars go to the bottom and fight for territory that's not going to be there if they all go at once.
Yeah, one of the things we'll keep an eye on at the top of turn 1 shelves off a little bit, so to speak. We'll talk about that more as it comes into play. Green flag in the air, Surratt and Kilgore going to lead them down there. They'll both take the bottom line into turn number 1, still side by side for that race lead. Down the back straightaway, up to speed for the first time. Kilgore and Surratt still wheel to wheel, making their way off of turn number 4, and that's exactly how they started 1 lap in, still door to door.
Carl Kilgore, Kyle Surratt, they're side by side. A little bit of contact there as you see Surratt going to get a little push there off Kilgore. He still holds the bottom, goes through 3 and 4 here. He's going to go to the bottom. Kilgore, look at the run he got entering the turn. They're still side by side as you see most of the cars side by side throughout.
Yeah, Kilgore back to the lead. Surratt, McCoy, Mattingly run in third and fourth behind this side-by-side battle. Continuing on down the back chute here at Weedsport into turn number 3. Kilgore and Surratt been door to door the entire duration of this one. Thus far, we come to lap number 4 of 8 in our opening heat race.
Surratt, Kilgore, they're both. Oh, man, hold on to it. Kyle Surratt going to go a little sideways. He drops back into that ace spot. That puts Trevor Mattingly in second, McCoy into third. But now that puts Carl Kilgore as he's going to just start pulling away from the rest of the field here.
Oh, what did we get here, Alex? 4 transfer to the A? Is that what we're working on right now?
I think. I'm going to double check.
Yeah, all right. Well, right now in the 4th spot is Corey Sibley, the 999. He's got the Bloomquist looking right there on the right part of your screen. And right there in the 2nd spot, Trevor Mattingly got Jacob McCoy running in 3rd. All that chrome on the 14 ride as they hustle down into turn number 1. It is still Kilgore out front. There's a good look at Sibley's 999 running in the 4th spot. He'll head it into turn number 3. Skolf just behind him, trying to get a little run to the back bumper of the Sibley. Could not get there. We've got 2 laps to go in our opening heat race as they all file through turns 1 and 2.
Corey Sibley, he's in 4th. He's on the outside looking in. Top 3 go on to the A main here tonight. So Jacob McCoy holding on to that 3rd spot right now. White flag in the air. He's holding on to 3rd there, but here comes that 999 of Sibley.
Oh, that just makes these heat races all that more intense as McCoy holds the final transfer spot down the back straightaway. Final time, it'll be Carl Kilgore making his way through 3, now off of 4, and he'll get the checkered flag and win our opening Miller Family Trucking Street Stock Heat Race. At the line for 2nd, Mattingly gets the spot, and McCoy takes the final transfer position. So your first heat race goes into the books, and a good one at that. The results coming up on the screen as heat number 1 goes official here tonight for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. You see Carl Kilgore, your winner, Trevor Mattingly 2nd, and Jacob McCoy finishes 3rd in the transfer spots. Sibley was 4th, Skolf, Wiley, Surratt, Korkiakowski, and Bowserman, the rest of your finish from heat race number 1. Heat 2, another 8-lap affair with 3 transfers coming onto the track. In the starting grid has Sage Luther on the pole. That's the number 26 machine. And from Team Dirt Warrior, the 77 of Daniel Stifler starts outside of the opening row.
Inside row number 2, the 73 Bulletproof Motorsports, it's Stephen Moore. Outside the 8 of Jeremy Vaughn.
Garrett Marshall drives the 789 and lines up inside row number 3. Brennan Weeks in the 22 for Mid-South Dirt Slingers outside of row number 3.
Starting 7th, it's the 7 McCoy brothers. Zachary McCoy will start in that 7th spot. Outside, Matt Walter, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers, 42 entry.
And the final starter is Drew Corbett. The Corbett Motorsports number 20 will line up back there in position number 9. These are the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. We're at the Weedsport Speedway and heat race number 2, forming up behind the iRacing pace vehicle. So, Alex, just 3 transfers in these heat races. How intense is it for these drivers? We know, you're starting 4th. You timed relatively well, but you got to gain a spot just to go to the show tonight.
Oh, yeah, and we said about the patience that showed here earlier in that first heat race as Surratt and Kilgore got into it. Surratt got a little sideways, opened the door for somebody else to transfer in. So, again, patience, especially at one of these tracks with the tight corners, that's what it's going to come down to, especially when you got Brendan Weeks back there, Matt Walter, Zach McCoy. It's like there's a whole bunch of heavy hitters here, and patience is going to be what helps them out tonight.
Oh, but if you're starting deep, how much patience can you have? Well, we'll find out here. Green flag coming up in the air. Heat race number 2 of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks is underway. Sage Luther going to slide it on down there to turn number 1. Slides it up the racetrack, and they're side by side behind him for that 2nd position. Stifler and Moore, 77 and 73, side by side down into 3. Good run on the top there. Stifler coming around the outside. He's got the 2nd position, and he'll move Moore back to 3rd.
Stifler into the 2nd spot. There's Moore still trying to sneak to the inside of him. Looks like almost contact there between the 2 of them. Stifler going to keep running that top side. Oh, caution flag out on the raceway.
Oh, our first caution of the night. Look out, here comes the pace truck getting to the front of the field. The Ultimate Dirt to TV instant replay coming up on your screen. We'll see what happened here. See Zachary McCoy, the 7 machine down there on the bottom. Yeah, a little contact. Uh-oh. Gonna get her up in the air like them Duke boys do, and slides around, gets the outside wall, and we go under the caution here in heat race number 2. It's getting into, looks like Matt Walter may have been the other car involved there. The Bloomquist looking ride on the outside of the track. Yeah, you see the Walter 42, and that was it. That's a hard hit down there for Zachary McCoy on that inside concrete and then to that top. That's one thing we didn't talk about, Alex. That concrete on the bottom of these corners, it is not forgiving at all.
Oh no, last season, Blake Majulis, the UMP season, in turn 3 and 4, you see that little arc there on the concrete. He was running the bottom side, hooked the concrete there, and well, when you're running in the top 2, it just hurts even more when you flip the car.
It sure does. Yeah, this track is not forgiving. And if you're watching here and maybe you're not an iRacing racer, so you haven't been around this racetrack, you see where that cushion is there in turn 1? If you get much higher than that, especially in turn 1, the track flattens off. It actually has less banking on the very top of turn number 1 than the bottom of the racetrack does. At least it feels that way when you're driving on this track. So getting in on the top of turn 1 is extremely difficult. If you can make it work, it can zip you around that racetrack with quite the momentum, but turn 1 is difficult to say the least. Back to the green as Sage Luther brings us back to the restart.
Sage Luther out in front, but here comes the 71 of Stifler, the 73 of Moore. All 3 of these cars have looked fast early on in this heat race, but let's see. Luther going to go to the middle side, Stifler going to go to the top, and now Moore going to slide up a little bit. He was running the bottom side. Luther still in command, though.
Just behind the transfer spots, Brennan Weeks, Jeremy Vaughn just battling for position, but that is outside looking in. As you continue to see the top 3, Luther starting to pull away. Stifler and Moore still second and third. They'll drive it down into turn number 3. Stifler getting a real hard drive down there into turn number 3, and he's catching your race leader on that end of the racetrack. Meanwhile, down here, looks like Sage Luther a little stronger in turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. They'll come around to start lap number 6 when they get to the flag stand.
Sage Luther still out in front. There's Daniel Stifler, though. You see side by side battling throughout there. There's Jeremy Vaughn. He's battling with Garrett Marshall back there for the 5th spot. Brennan Weeks, he's in 4th, and he's just trying to catch up to the top 3, but more Stifler and Luther, they've just looked strong throughout.
They sure do, and they will come to 2 laps to go in our second heat race of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. By the stand they go. Like the way Sage Luther is really throwing it down there to turn number 1, letting the car get loose and drift up the racetrack. That's one way to keep your speed up here at the Weedsport Speedway. Luther has shown the way since the drop of the green in this heat race, and he's got 1 circuit to go if he wants to claim that checkered flag.
White flag out for Luther, but here comes that 71 machine of Stifler. Stifler has 1 chance to make a move. Will he try it, or will he hold on to the 2nd spot? Luther goes to the bottom, Stifler up top. Stifler getting a run, but too little too late as Sage Luther takes home heat race number 2. Dan Stifler in 2nd, and Stephen Moore taking home that 3rd and final transfer spot.
Things getting a little exciting there at the end of heat race number 2, but it's Sage Luther leading the entire duration. Stifler behind him by just over 0.2 of a second. Stephen Moore gets the final transfer spot. The rest of the finish going to Weeks, Vaughn, Marshall, Walter, McCoy, and Corbett. Our 3rd heat race here at the Weedsport Speedway of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks onto the racetrack. Alex, let's take a look at this grid.
Starting on the pole, Dirt Panda, it's the 77 of William Hargraves. Outside, Jimmy Massey in the 2 machine.
2nd row on the insides where you'll find Jack Weaver, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers, number 34 inside, and Blake Deepenay, the 21 for Wolf Racing on the outside. Alex, I have no idea if I was close on that name.
You were close. It's Deepenay. As starting 5th is Stephen Radunes in the 78 outside, David Campbell in the 91.
Brian Taft for Mudmule Motorsports, the 83 inside, row number 4. Travis Bertzer outside of him in the 109.
Running out the field, Drew Hopkins Racing, 23 entry of Ethan Toder.
That is your grid. 8 times around, 3 transfer spots up for grabs. 3rd heat race here this evening, or this afternoon, for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Some good-looking cars in these Street Stocks, Alex. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the one thing to notice, the street stock division, it's not well populated when it comes to around iRacing as much as it should be. But the paint seems that these guys get, oh, they're worth every penny that we pay to get these things made.
I love it. I love it. A lot of great designers out here on the iRacing platform, or you can do it yourself too. And yeah, it's good looking cars here today. Somebody's going to hope to look good for 8 times around on this one. Green flag is in the air. Top 3 transfer heat 3 is underway.
William Hargraves goes right to that top side where he's always been comfortable at. He's going to go around turn 1 and 2. Here comes Massey to the inside. Massey going to duck down low. He's going to run that bottom side, but Hargraves has the run out of the corner still. As oh man, not that much of a run though, as they were photoed down there at lap number 1.
Out on the bottom of the racetrack, Jamie Massey with the advantage there at the middle of the corner. Hargraves has the momentum. They'll race it down into turn number 3. Hargraves, Massey still side by side for the race lead. Look at this run on the high line, dead even at the stripe.
And oh man, the battles are on. Massey going to get a run once more out of the turn 1 and 2. But here comes Hargraves going to go to that top side. Massey going to try and follow suit, but no, he goes to the top. He goes to the bottom, and now Hargraves going to get that run one more time, and he's going to continue to battle for the lead, but Massey has him at the line.
They're staying close to him back there, 3rd and 4th, still right there with your lead pack, who continues to battle for the lead. Massey going to give just enough room for Hargraves on the outside line there, making sure there's no contact, keeping it nice and clean. Good and racy out front, going by the stripe. Jamie Massey is your leader. William Hargraves still battling on the high line.
Massey out in front. There's Hargraves almost getting up to that wall as here comes Depanay. Depanay going to try and sneak to the bottom side. You see Massey goes to top now. Both of them going to get the run out of the corner as Massey had to Depanay had to check up before he hit that wall.
Interesting there that Massey changed lines, and now look at Hargraves looking to his inside. A little cat and mouse game here in Heat 3 of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Massey on the top, Hargraves in the 2nd spot, Depanay right there in 3rd, holding the final transfer spot in front of Jack Weaver.
As you see Depanay right there, here comes Jack Weaver, though. Weaver trying to sneak his nose underneath, but slides up and going to lose some momentum. Depanay, though, getting a good run on the rest of the leaders here. Hargraves trying to get past Massey. 1 lap to go. White flag in the air. Massey still out in front.
Still a question, who's going to win this one? Still the question to be answered, who's going to get the final transfer spot? Depanay, little mistake down there in turn number 1. Weaver going to try to capitalize down here in 3. Meanwhile, your leaders about to exit the final turn for the final time. Jamie Massey is going to get the win. William Hargraves in 2nd. Blake Depanay will get that 3rd and final transfer spot in his number 21. 3 heat races in the books and 3 exciting ones already here today for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. As the official results coming up on the screen, Jamie Massey picks up the win. William Hargraves, Blake Depanay, your top 3, and they go to tonight's main event. On the outside looking in, they'll have to go through the consolation action. Weaver, Campbell, Burtzer, Taft, Rudens, and Toter, your finishing order behind the transfer spots. Heat race number 4 starting to take shape behind the iRacing Pace Truck. Alex.
Starting on the pole, Mid-South Dirt Slingers, the 92 of Corey Austin. Outside of him, it's his teammate, the 13 of Jordan Gage.
Alex Bergeron, he lines up number 3 on the grid, the number 12 machine for Team ABR Esports. And Bill Miller, Mid-South Dirt Slingers, number 34, outside of him, lining up 4th.
Another Mid-South Dirt Slinger entry, the 119 of Donnie Batiste. And then in the 6th spot, it's Drew Hopkins Racing, 49 of Chase Hardy.
Mid-South Dirt Slingers represented inside row number 4, Chase Hoke in the 181, and Davin Cardwell in the Drew Hopkins Racing 101 will line up outside the 4th and final row. 8 cars, 8 times around, 3 transfer from your 4th heat race tonight of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. And we get that green next time off of turn number 4.
I'm going to call it now that at least one Mid-South Dirt Slinger is going to make it from this heat race.
You're going way out there on a limb.
Oh, I know. Because, I got five out of 8 chances here.
Yeah. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to start racing the street stocks next week when Jay Van's back for the broadcast. And I'm going to be really original. I'm going to come out with a Bloomquist-themed car.
Oh man, maybe you might want to call them, see if they'll sign you to a 1 week contract for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers. But Corey Austin, green flag is out. Final heat race of the night is underway. Austin goes to the bottom side, Gage to the top, as you see side by side the route. Here comes Bergeron already.
Yeah, Jordan Gage back there in the third spot. Bergeron right there for the lead. Here comes Gage to the inside behind him. Bergeron will close the door and continues to work on Corey Austin, your race leader. Austin down there into turn number 1, slides it on into the corner. Bergeron gets the nose to the inside, racing for the lead off turn number 2. Austin with the advantage as they hit turn 3.
Austin goes to the top. Here goes Bergeron to the bottom side. Bergeron tries to get around the bottom. Hello, car upside down.
Here comes a look at that. The Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay as you see Bill Miller, the 34 machine, is going to find that concrete we talked about a little bit ago, Alex, on the bottom here of turn number 4. Yep, that's it. That's all it takes. Game over.
I really got to ask, why is it so... It's like a ramp. It's made like a ramp. What do we expect to happen at Weedsport if they make it like that?
You would much rather have that than like a blunt edge of concrete, I would say. So, I guess that's better than, if it was just a sharp knife of concrete sticking up there.
I just like tractor tires better.
Oh, boy, you are really... you can send all of the hate mail to Alex Robinson, 1324 Tractor Tire Drive. Oh, Black Diamond Motorsports Corner. Nathan Davis having a birthday. You'd be a rare one to like infield tractor tires, Alex.
It's weird. I like tractor tires, but I'd rather just have no infield wall tires and no outside wall. So then, guess what? I don't have to hit anything except other cars.
You know what I like on the inside of a racetrack? Keeps everybody honest, and it marks it. Just a nice berm. Just a nice knee-high, tall berm. It works everywhere. It works all the time. Doesn't damage cars. Hey, we're back to green as we hustled on down into turn number 1. Corey Austin, still your leader.
Oh, man, as it looks like there were some problems there for the 119 of Donnie Matisse. He drops back, but Corey Austin has company. Here comes Bergeron to the inside once more. Bergeron going to try and get a run. Oh, be careful there. Almost hits that wall, and another caution out on the raceway.
Well, we're going to have to find out what happened on this one as we continue on here in Heat 4 of the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Let's take a peek here at Chase Hardy, the Drew Hopkins car. Oh, it happened all in front of him, and he's going to be the unlucky recipient of a one-way ticket into Concrete Paradise off of turn number 2. So that puts us back under the yellow. You see the cars in front of him. Chain reactions. Things happen here very, very quickly at the Weedsport Speedway. These are tight corners, and, well, there you see one of the byproducts of it.
So Batiste gets into Cardwell. Cardwell gets into Batiste, and then, well, there's Chase Hardy, and Chase Hardy's just like, well, I'm gonna feel the pain of this one trying to get around here.
The good news is you slap into concrete like that in the real world with the street stock, and you're going to do a lot of damage, and you're back at the trailer working and working and working in hopes of getting it into the B main. The good news is in iRacing, didn't cost anybody a dime down there.
Man, I love street stocks, especially at the racetrack, because you'll see them with the hammers just banging out some dents and hoping and pray that it'll run through.
I'm not sure the iRacing version of these street stocks, like what exactly they're emulating, because they're not exactly an IMCA stock car. I don't know. I like them. I like them. They're fun. They're exciting.
They're exciting as I would love to see the reaction if iRacing would bring in another version of a street stock.
Oh, like an IMCA stock car type.
That would be. I would love to see the reaction, because I guarantee how iRacing drivers are. The moment you bring something out in the dirt world, they fall for it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Oh, yeah, take my money. Take my money. The newest thing is the coolest thing. Have you seen how many people race at Cedar Lake every week? That place is always packed with the racing on here. The big blocks every week. Everybody piling the big blocks. But right now we're piling on down into turn number 1. Corey Austin, Alex Bergeron, Jordan Gage continue to run 1, 2, 3 into transfer spots.
Corey Austin out in front. There's Bergeron trying to go to the bottom side one more time. Man, oh man, halfway down in this heat race. Austin still out in front. Here goes Bergeron one more time to the bottom.
I get it now. I see the Mid-South Dirt Slinger logo in the middle of the big O. Like, all right, now these paint schemes make sense to me. This good-looking cars. Corey Austin leads. He'll come to the stripe. Well, starting to work. Lap number 6 of 8 in heat race number 4 still. Bergeron on the hunt right behind him in the second spot. And we've got a little bit of a battle starting to take shape for that transfer spot. Jordan Gage has it in the 13. Davin Cardwell stalking him off of turn number 4. Cardwell now taking a peek to the inside. 2 laps to go, and the transfer spot is up for grabs.
Bergeron trying to battle with him. Davin Cardwell going inside of Gage. Gage going to get the run out of the corner, but here we go. 3 and 4. Cardwell going to go to the bottom, slide up a little bit. Oh, man. As you see the white flag in the air, battle for the transfer, Cardwell and Gage.
Down into turn number 1. Cardwell has gained 4 spots. Now make it 5 as he grabs the final transfer. Gage going to hustle back to his inside. Still up for grabs. Who's going to get that final transfer spot? Corey Austin off of the corner. Bergeron spins. That's going to change everything. Austin gets the win. Cardwell in second. And Jesse Hoke going to sneak into the third and final transfer spot. As did Bergeron just go backwards across the finish line? Oh, that got wild at the end, Alex.
I think Bergeron just wanted to finish that one in style. And he's like, might as well just kick it in reverse here.
That was almost Talladega Night style, running to the finish line as that one goes in the books as our 4th and final heat race is concluded here tonight. We've got 12 drivers into the A-Main already, including Corey Austin, Davin Cardwell, and Jesse Hoke. Your transfers out of Heat 4. Gage was 4th, Batiste, Bergeron 6th, Hardy, and Miller, the rest of your finish from heat race number 4. Tonight's C-Main already up there on the grid. And we'll get a peek here at exactly what happens, how many transfer out of that C. I didn't catch it, but what we can tell you here momentarily is the starting grid of this 10-lapper, 4 transfer. Here's the grid. Travis Beertzer, Mid-South Dirt Slinger, number 109 on the pole, and Alex Bergeron, who we just saw in that final heat race for Team ABR Esports in the 12 machine. He'll start outside the opening row.
Row number 2, inside Bulletproof Motorsports, the 18. It's Kyle Surratt outside. Mid-South Dirt Slinger, the 42 of Matt Walter.
It'll be Brian Taft, the Mud Mule Motorsports, number 83, starts inside the 3rd row. Chase Hardy out of Drew Hopkins Racing's stables in the 49 will line up 6th.
The 40 of Timothy Korkowski. He'll start 7th. McCoy Brothers Racing, the 7 of Zachary McCoy, starts 8th.
Stephen Rudines in the 78 starts inside row number 5. Bill Miller will join him. That's the number 34 for Mid-South Dirt Slingers, starting 10th.
11th, the 76 of Ryan Bowserman. Outside of him, the 20, it's Drew Corbett.
So that is your 12-car grid, 10 times around 4. Move on to tonight's B-Main for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks here at the Weedsport Speedway. Alex, I'm liking the way this track is really starting to slick off down there in turn number 1. It's going to get interesting as we work through these consolations and then into the main event, I believe.
Oh, yeah, the track is taking some good wear and tear. But one thing, you might want to take a picture of this because this doesn't happen often. The 12 machine of Alex Bergeron in a C main. Everyone might want to take a picture of that because that never happens. As Kyle Surratt, too, both of them in the top 5 in points, and they're in a C main.
Yeah, we talked about Bergeron winning his 3rd consecutive World Sprint Car title this past week. Of course, he got a Speed Week win as well Wednesday night. He's always fast here with our dirtfan.com 410 sprint cars, and right now he's going to show off some of his speed in this C-Main after some tough luck earlier. He's your race leader. Surratt, Beertzer, Taft right now in the transfer spots early on in the Miller Family Trucking Street Stock C-Main.
There's Surratt. Surratt has company as Beertzer trying to get to the inside of him, but Surratt closes the door as now Beertzer has company with Taft, Hardy, Walter. They're all right behind there, trying to get their nose in a transfer spot. But Bergeron, Surratt, those two are starting to walk away in the top 2 spots.
Yeah, they just need to keep their noses clean for the duration of this one. You see some battling going on. A little shuffle up the racetrack there for Travis Beertzer in the 3rd spot. We'll see if that opens the door down here in 1. Does not. He keeps it nice and closed. Beertzer and Taft a little close back there. Hardy in the top 5 as we did you watch Bergeron, Surratt? Now we look back. There you see Beertzer in the 109, the white car. The Brian Taft 83 working the bottom. He's in fourth. That 83 is your final transfer spot. So right now, Chase Hardy right behind him, taking a look to the inside. Maybe looked a little too hard. Got the car sideways, and Matt Walter now into the top 5 and 1 out of a transfer.
Matt Walter, he's in 5th right now. There's Taft, there's Beertzer. Those two sit in 3rd and 4th, and now Taft trying to sneak to the outside of Beertzer, but they're both going to run the same line, identical lines there, as you see a lot of cars just trying to get a feel for what this racetrack is at, as especially if you're Bergeron and Surratt. Those two are starting to feel out the rest of the racetrack.
I got to tell you, Alex, my son just walked out the room here. He looked up at the scoring monitor and saw C-Main Alex Bergeron and looked at me like, what is going on? He's been, upstairs doing his homework, and yeah, we'll have to tell him all about the action from heat race number 4 in a little bit. But there you see Alex Bergeron, your leader, 3 laps to go in the C. Kyle Surratt right there with him, keeping him honest as they hustle down the back straightaway. 2.5 circuits of the Weedsport Speedway remain in tonight's C-Main.
Surratt there in the 2nd spot. He goes to the bottom. Bergeron now testing out that top side. He still holds on to the lead. Surratt now going to go to the bottom. So is Bergeron. Bergeron and Surratt both sliding up there, getting into that cushion as they're both rounding. Here we go. White flag out this time. Bergeron up top and Surratt on the bottom.
They'll make their way down the stripe. They see Barney in the flag stand. White flag in hand. Down to turn number 1 for the final time. They'll both slide it on in there. Grab the cushion at the top of turn number 2. And rip them down the back straightaway. Alex Bergeron, bad luck in his heat race. Turns into a good run in tonight's C-Main. And he will get the win and transfer to the B. Kyle Surratt in 2nd. Oh, look at this. Getting wild for that final transfer spot. Beertzer was 3rd, and Taft will hold on for 4th by a slim margin with some hurrying, scurrying, slipping, and sliding off the final turn, as that has been kind of the calamity corner. We talked about turns 1 and 2 as you see the results there. Bergeron, Surratt, Beertzer, Taft, they move on to the B. Coming up next, Walter, Corey Kwiatkowski, Miller, McCoy, Hardy, Bowserman, Corbett, Rudines, and Toter, the rest of the finish. Alex, we talked about turns 1 and 2 being difficult. Turn 4 has been the one biting the drivers here tonight as the lineup for tonight's B-Main comes onto the screen.
B-Main starting lineup 13 will go on to the A-Main from this. And starting on the pole, the 999 Mid-South Dirt Slingers. It's Corey Sibley outside the 22 of Brendan Weeks.
Jack Weaver for Mid-South Dirt Slingers in the 34 inside row 2. Jordan Gage out of the same stables in the 13. He goes 4th.
$1 Million Motorsports, the 050. It's Eric Sculp. He'll start inside of row number 3, outside the 8 of Jeremy Vaughn.
Then it's David Campbell inside row number 4, the 91, and the 119 of Donnie Batiste.
9th, it'll be Jonathan Wiley in the 909 for Mid-South Dirt Slingers, outside Garrett Marshall in the 789.
And your transfers, Alex Bergeron. He'll line up in the 11th spot, and joining him in row number 6, Kyle Surratt in the 18.
Travis Beertzer will start 13th in the 109, and rounding out the field, the 83 of Brian Taft. And I'm going to go out on a wild limb here and say that a Mid-South Dirt Slinger is going to make the feature from this B. And if we look at the front 2 row, so again, I have a 7 and 14 chance here, and 13 are going on, so I got a good chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. So really, with 13 transfers, 1 misses out. So this is a race for not last.
Man, why can't this be a race that I'm in? But no, never mind. I'm never in these races.
You would have been done in the C-Main. They may not have let you out of qualifying here tonight.
They don't like me enough for that.
Uh-oh. Well, teammates touching down there in turn 3. Yellow's out.
A caution already. What the heck, people?
Again, 13 of 14 transfers. So, a nice even 13 too, by the way. I'm not sure how that happens. Back here at Eric Scalf, 50. Yeah, okay. Well, we talked about turn 1 being tight, and it sure is. Scalf there, he's got a lot of damage on the front end of that 50 ride. We'll have to see if he can make the dirty baker's dozen into the A main out of this one. Here's a nice slow look as they get in there. Just got in a little too hot for turn one.
Gets into Vaughn. There's Batiste. Batiste going to clean up the rest. And then let chaos ensue. There's Bergeron. Oh, there's Bergeron gets hit some more.
What I like there was Beertzer coming through at the very end. Oh, then there was some more on the back straightaway. What I liked at the very back of this is Beertzer's coming through. He's last, and he's just like, you know what, you guys do it. Do what you're going to do. I'm just back here. I'm not even touching the gas yet.
Oh, what a crazy start to this B main. As you said about they're not allowing me out of qualifying, that's why I'm joining you for the sprint cars, because they didn't allow me. They were like, no, keep it on the trailer. You're not running tonight.
You didn't even make it through pre-race tech.
No, they heard I was bringing 2 cars, and they're like, yeah, no, pick one. Pick one. We're not allowing 2.
Oh, fine. But what are we going to talk about through that sprint car show if you're not racing tonight?
We'll just make fun of Brett Wheeler. It's fine.
Okay, that works for me. He's had such good luck this season in the dirtfan.com sprint cars. Just luck has been on his side every night.
As a green flag back out, Brett Wheeler just being Brett Wheeler.
Our producer, yeah, he can talk in our ears and nobody hears it on the broadcast. He had a lot to say about my comment there on him being lucky. It's a good thing nobody hears him. That's what I'll say, Alex.
Yeah. As well, that's usually how it is with producers. It's always lucky that people don't hear them.
Hey, I worked in TV for 10 years. I'll agree with that all day, every day. As you see the 12 of Bergeron starting to come through the field. You see side-by-side, a little loose action there deep in the pack. Corey Sibley continues to lead this one. David Campbell back there, the 91 machine. He's your final transfer. As you see your C-main transfer cars still trying to work forward in the field. Again, every position you pick up in this B-main is a better starting spot in the upcoming A-main. So you're sitting there saying, 13 transfer, why are we running this? Well, this means a lot for transfer for starting positions. Starting 13th in the A sounds a lot better than starting back there 20-something.
I mean, just making the A sounds good to me, but that's just me, apparently. But Bergeron there trying to battle throughout as all these cars battling, trying to gain some spots, as you said. There's Surratt, and for Surratt and Bergeron, they need the spots being in the top 5 in points.
Ooh, real hard lick of the wall there for Jonathan Wiley in the 909. He really slapped the wall down there in turn number 1, but continues on back there in the 10th spot. He's got Beertzer just behind him. As we look forward there, Garrett Marshall just in front of Kyle Surratt. They're side by side off the turn. That's happening behind Batiste as they hustle into turn number 3. We're beyond the halfway point in tonight's B main. Again, 13 going to go on to the big dance here tonight as they continue to work for positions.
Battle throughout here. Garrett Marshall, Kyle Surratt, those two battling. There's Jeremy Vaughn. He's battling throughout with Jack Weaver there. Jack Weaver, a Pennsylvania guy as well. He's just a character. He's a real character. Have you ever talked to him yet, Sean?
I'm yet to have the privilege.
Oh, once you get a conversation with Jack Weaver, you'll want to have more with him as you see him looking to punch his ticket to the A main, going up top there, trying to get around Jeremy Vaughn.
I've talked to some drivers that since I've come on here with World of Thunder, and some things have been said about punches, but I don't know if it's something like that as they're throwing punches for positions down the back straightaway. Good race going on here in the middle of the field into this B main. Your leader, Corey Sibley, out front. He's got 2 laps to go on this one as the field sees the rest of that. There you see the rest of the top 3. Sibley, Weeks, Gage continue to run 1, 2, and 3. They'll enter turn number 3. Gage working that bottom, slides it up just a little bit. Saw Jordan Gage get a couple wins this year with the Sodak iRacing Series presented by Asphalt Pros, a local one here in the upper Midwest. Right now he runs 3rd in this B as Sibley goes down the back straightaway for the last time.
Sibley goes through 3 and 4. Here comes Brendan Weeks trying to just make a run at it. As David Campbell going to drop to 14th, but Corey Sibley takes home B main win. Brendan Weeks, Jordan Gage. Those are your top three. As we see, Aaron Stolf going to punch his ticket after problems there at the start. He's going to get it, and here comes David Campbell rounding out the field.
That puts all of the qualifying action complete here tonight for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks in action at the Weedsport Speedway. We'll get a look at your official finish here for tonight's B main. Sibley, Weeks, Gage, Vaughn, Bergeron. Bergeron from the back got up there to a top 5. Batiste, Surratt, Weaver, Marshall, Wiley, Beertzer, Taft, and Sculf all transfer on to tonight's A main. Campbell finished 14th. I think we're going to take a break here as the field makes their way onto the racetrack for a little test session before tonight's A main. The Miller Family Trucking Street Stock feature event coming up next from the Weedsport Speedway. You're watching the World of Thunder on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends, they can watch it go down. I got mine too, so welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. If you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Miller Family Trucking Super Stocks here at Weedsport Speedway for the World of Thunder Esports League. Race number 1 of 4. Alex Robinson, Sean Neistat, and Sean, it is feature time here at Weedsport.
It is going to be a furious bit of action for these Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks as we're going to turn loose 25 cars. Here's the starting grid. Starting 25th for $1 Million Motorsports, the 50 of Eric Sculfin. Row number 12 on the outside, Brian Taft in the 83. To his inside, going from 23rd, it's the 109 of Travis Beertzer.
22nd, the 909 Mid-South Dirt Slingers. It's Jonathan Wiley. 21st, the 789 of Garrett Marshall.
Row number 10 has Jack Weaver, the 34 outside, inside, the 18 of Kyle Surratt.
Donnie Batiste will start 18th in the 119. Inside of him, the 12. Team ABR Esports, it's Alex Bergeron.
Row number 8, it's Jeremy Vaughn, the 8 on the outside. Inside, Jordan Gage in the 13.
Outside row number 7, the 22 Mid-South Dirt Slingers, it's Brendan Weeks. Inside the 999 Mid-South Dirt Slingers, Corey Sibley.
We go to the 6th row on the outside, and that's Jesse Hoke, the 181. Inside of him, the 21 of Blake Depanay.
Starting 10th, the 73, it's Stephen Moore. Inside, McCoy Brothers, Jacob McCoy in the 14.
Going from 8th, it's Davin Cardwell in the 101. And starting 7th, the 77 of William Hargraves.
Starting 6th, it's going to be the 077 Team Dirt Warrior. It's Dan Stifler. 5th, Trevor Mattingly.
Starting row 2 outside, Mid-South Dirt Slingers, number 92, it's Corey Austin. And starting 3rd in the number 2, Jamie Massey.
On the front row, outside the 26, it's Sage Luther, and on the pole, he set quick time. He won his heat race. The 19, it's Carl Kilgore from Precision Performance. Who are you picking, Sean?
Oh, man, I'm going to take Kilgore from the pole. He's going to keep the perfect streak going.
I'm going to go with the hard charger here. I'll pick Alex Bergeron from 18th.
We've got plenty of laps to make it happen here. 30 times around. The Weedsport Speedway Miller Family Trucking Street Stock A-Main is underway. Carl Kilgore out to the lead. Here's Sage Luther, Corey Austin battling for the spot with Jamie Massey right there. 3 cars tussling for the second position as we make our way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time under green. The opening lap goes to Carl Kilgore.
As you see, battles are already looming. Here's Corey Austin, Jamie Massey. They're battling throughout. There is Dan Stifler. Stifler trying to get into the top 5. Mattingly, Hargraves, they're all battling as well. So the top 10 is firing on all cylinders through turn number 3 and 4, lap number 2 in the books.
Still Kilgore, but look at this race for the second spot. Luther has the advantage, but side by side, wheel to wheel, off of turn number 2, just behind them. Jamie Massey has it. Corey Austin piloting around the high side of the speedway, trying to get that momentum going. Nearly 3 wide now in turn number 4. That is very difficult to do. They're hub to hub, wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper, heading down into turn number 1.
As you see, there goes Massey. Massey goes to the bottom. He gets into Austin. Stifler's going around. Caution flag wave. First caution of the night. Oh, hello. Brakes, people. Brakes.
Well, the good news there is it got Daniel Stifler turned the right direction. The bad news is that's a lot of damage to that 71 machine. And the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay coming up here. Oh, Alex, I was just about to say, other than losing positions, this was really no harm for the 71 of Stifler. As you see, the contact there gets that inside concrete, and then Jordan Gage drills him, and he goes for the ride down the back straightaway. Ouch. This gets ugly, like real ugly. Like caution flag is out, and whammy.
Just straight head-on collision there, and then another Mid-South Third Slingers car gonna get in as well. Oh man, as right there, there's 4. As you see, one of them is flipping. That's Jordan Gage, but there was 4 Mid-South Third Slingers cars right there.
That's a little intense when you're and here comes another one into the screen. That's intense when you've got that many teammates in a race. Like, it's one thing to be racing somebody else, but, you're racing your teammate and you race them hard, you're going to hear about it all week long.
Here's the one thing, though. If you don't want to accuse any teams of blocking in dirt track racing, but when there's so many of them, you can't tell if they're racing hard or if they're just blocking each other. And it's interesting, especially when you've got this many in a field of 24, and it feels like almost half of them are Mid-South Dirt Slingers.
They just have to race side by side, and it's just kind of a natural block for anyone behind them. But, yeah, this is really cool. Great supporters of these Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks would be the Mid-South Dirt Slingers. As out front, Carl Kilgore going to sail it on into turn number 1. He's got Sage Luther in that second spot. Luther getting a little bit of a mulligan after missing the mark down there in turn number 1 a lap ago. And we're side by side for third. Austin and Massey battle for that spot off of turn 4.
Austin, Massey, those two were the ones that got into Dan Stifler there as well. As now Massey going to go up. Here comes Austin. Austin trying to go to the top side. But here comes Hargraves. Here comes Cardwell. Here comes Mattingly. All these cars running some quick times as they're all trying to get into a podium spot, but Carl Kilgore just looking strong.
Still a long ways to go. We work on lap number 7 of 30 as Luther slides up the racetrack a little bit. Now nearly 4 wide. How does that work at Weedsport? That was some tight going off of turn number 2. You see Mattingly and Cardwell battling for a spot there as the yellow flag comes out over the track once again in tonight's Miller Family Trucking Street Stock feature event. The replay coming up here on the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. And you see the action there. You see Donnie Batiste gliding up the racetrack. They're banging the wall in front of him and loses grip and loops it around. That's, for all the action that happens at Weedsport, Alex, that is about the most benign caution flag I've ever seen here.
Okay, wait. Can we go in slow motion there and go back a hair? So there's one Mid-South Dirt Slinger in front of him. There's another one to the outside of him. He's a Mid-South Dirt Slinger. And then you see one also in front. And then coming around the turn, here comes another one into the frame. There's a 2.
I'm glad that the majority of them have matching paint schemes, so it's so easy to pick out like that. As Debonet was up there in the wall in his 21H machine just before the caution came out. I'm glad they did those paint schemes with so many of them. That's that's really cool. I'll give them credit there.
It's great because it's a similar paint scheme, just different colors. So it's one of those. I feel bad for anyone who comes in late though, because you're out of colors by now.
Brown might be available, and some really lovely shades of some bad greens might be available. I don't know.
You're gonna come into those weird named colors.
Periwinkle.
Yes, like that. But look who's up here in the top 10. My pick, Alex Bergeron. He's up to 9th already, battling with David Cardwell. Oh, save it! Somebody save it! Everyone's safe? Nope.
No.
Not safe.
No, yellow's out. That all started up front, and Kyle Surratt's going to say, no, I wasn't part of that, and he's going to try to hustle his way back up front. We'll have to see the officials take that one, as you're going to watch the 18 of Surratt here. And it all starts way before him. Up there, you see the start of the action up there in the second spot. Surratt gets shot down onto the infield, and one of the Mid-South Dirt Slingers cars gets turned around there in the middle of 1 and 2, and that's a tough break there. A restart, somebody gets a little loose, and it's the second place car that really started this, and it's the 20th place car or so that's going to end up being credited with the caution. Jonathan Wiley, the 909. The car around over there in turns 1 and 2. So that's a look at the action there on the Ultimate Dirt TV Instant Replay. Plenty of action here from the Weedsport Speedway, and looks like they may have put both those cars to the back. And yes, there it is. Also trouble, Sage Luther running in second. He has been credited as part of that caution in the 26, getting sent to the back by the World of Thunder officials. So that is going to change things up dramatically here towards the front.
So now you got Corey Austin, Massey, and Austin. That's your top 3. And then Mattingly, Hargraves, your top 5. Bergeron, Cardwell moving up a spot, so they're in 6th and 7th. So, man, the drama we're not even 10 laps in, and the drama's already building, as you got the top 10 have just looked stunning. And then you have tough breaks for Stifler and Luther early on.
Yeah, I will do you one better, Alex. We're not even 10 laps in of the first of 4 divisions we've got on this Super Sunday Fun Day. There's a lot of racing still to come our way over the next 6 or so hours. So, some of these drivers that may be a little hot under the helmet, metaphorically here tonight, or maybe hot under the VR goggles, they're going to have to let this go and calm back down. There's a lot of racing to go today as Carl Kilgore continues to show the way. We work lap number 9 of 30. He is your race leader.
And man, you see the wear and tear the entrance of 1 and 2 has got, as we see they're going through 3 and 4, and it's about the same wear and tear there, but that top side, nobody's going to it yet, as the bottom side looks like the place to be. As you see, Bergeron now gets by Cardwell. He's up into 6th. Kilgore still out in front, though.
Oh, contact. Bergeron getting into the car in front of him. He's going to take the scenic route as we're still green. Alex Bergeron hustling to the other end of the track. He's going to try to find his way back onto the speedway. He'll sneak out. Right about there. That looks good. Oh, the yellow is out. Yellow is out. Oh, what a day. This is a tough track, Alex, and we're seeing some of the results of that. But, boy, this is a close battle for position. Watch Bergeron send it down here to turn number 1, and right here he goes, oh, no. As the car in front of him kind of got into the concrete and slowed the progress a little bit. So, trouble there. I love this move.
Floor it. He's like, I gotta find the entrance. Where's the entrance? Oh, crap, not there. Let's go here. Oh, crap, there's cars now. Dang it. You know what the bad thing is?
What's that?
I was like, let me change it up. Let me pick a world-class driver who's won 3 championships. Maybe this will change the curse. Well, guess what? Now that shows that the curse is actually a real thing when I pick someone like him. Well,
yeah.
we see what happened to him.
The rest of the day, whenever there's an opportunity to pick, we're not even going to. They didn't let you off the trailer for the 410 race today. We're not going to let you pick the rest of the day either.
Oh no, Brett's going to want me to pick now because he just enjoys watching me suffer.
Let's do this. Let's make your pick for the sprint car show already, and I
Brett
think
Wheeler.
you should. There you go. Because he needs a change of luck. He's had nothing but great luck on his side all season long.
I might get fired tonight.
Is that possible? Can we get fired? Oh, Brett tells us in our ear, yes, we can. Okay, well, good to know.
I might actually get fired if I pick Brett E. Rex tonight.
Yeah, that may not be good. Carl Kilgore, though, I tell you what, he has had no problems since the drop of the green. We're a little over a third of the way into this feature event. He continues to show the way out front as Jamie Massey, Corey Austin in the top 3 spots as they slip and slide them down into turn number 1.
There you see Mattingly. He's in 4th now as more cars moving up through the field right now. All of these cars in the top 10 have moved up at least 1 spot so far, except for Jacob McCoy, who has dropped back 1 spot. So these cars have moved up through the field. Just, I don't think some of them got lucky with some interactions.
Still going to take some luck here as we've got more than halfway to go in this feature event as they head on down into turn number 3. Mattingly's got the 13 on the door, the 24 on your scoring ticker on the screen. Running there in the 4th spot just in front of Hargreaves. He was the one who had the little contact from Bergeron down there in turn number 1 and was able to continue on in that Modern Motorsports a little bit inspired 71M. Got 77 up there on the ticker for him as he hustles off of turn number 4. Carl Kilgore looking strong out front, though. He's got a 0.4 of a second lead over the field.
As you see there's Jeremy Vaughn. He's in 12th right now. Travis Bearcher in 14th and Brian Taft in 15th. They're both up 9 spots, so cars are moving up through this field very well. Eric Skull, who is your last transfer from that B main, he is up 7 spots. So a lot of big movers and shakers throughout, already halfway down.
Like that, you see some, a couple Mid-South Dirt Slinger cars banging down there in turn number 1, and the yellow flag, it comes out. Yellow is out just past halfway. Yeah, I was just going to start to talk about, Alex, there, that some drivers really starting to search around on that high side of the speedway as get a look here at the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. A couple of the Mid-South Dirt Slinger cars racing for position. Only 3 of them racing for a spot right there. Red gets sideways, purple gets into green for Mid-South Dirt Slingers. How's that?
Colors, I just see the rainbow. When I see Mid-South Dirt Slingers cars, I swear I've seen every color of the rainbow.
They've got them all. And then they reverse. Some of the cars are mostly white. Some of them are mostly black. And, yeah, like you said, they're out of different ways to set them. I like the names on the back of the cars, on the tail panel there, and then the number. I like that as well. And you know, a lot of people don't know it. Let's talk about Scott Bloomquist in real life, because that's what these cars are modeled after, right? They got the big 0 on there, but a lot of people don't notice Scott Bloomquist is number 18. He's got a small 18 right there off the sails, and that's exactly what these Mid-South Dirt Slingers guys are doing with their car numbers. So nice attention to detail, guys. But you know what? You'll always see Bloomquist pop up as 0 in scoring, but there's always that little 18. I've talked about that for years.
And the one thing I really like about theirs, if you look at the back of their car, it always has their name and it always has their number. So if you can't see their number, on the back bumper, you can see it very clearly of who it is. So it's, again, it adds help for fans who cannot see the numbers, but green flag is out. Kilgore just looking to run away with this some more.
You imagine at racetracks that don't have transponders, if this were real deal and they'd have to write the card numbers as they come down, you know, as they're scoring them by hand, this would be impossible with all these cars that look so similar. As we see there, as the yellow is back out, is starting to look at Trevor Mattingly getting some pressure from behind, as we'll see the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. We were banging bumpers before the green. See Sage Luther's 26. He was running up towards the front earlier. As this is on the restart. There's the concrete again.
Let's just hit the concrete. Ooh.
That's tough. And you know, these corners aren't exactly like if you would take a contractor or protractor, and you would draw like a semicircle, and that would be like the shape of a corner. That's not what these corners are like at all. They come in and they're nice and easy, and then they turn harder off of turn 4, like turn 1 turns sharper than 2 does. So these corners are really hard to follow. If you can make perfect laps around this racetrack, you're doing something right in the iRacing world or in the real world as well, because this is a very, very difficult course to get around.
Oh, yes. But back to what you were saying about the no transponders. The smart one to do would be whoever's color. So, like, you see Corey Austin has purple, I think, on his. So you put Corey Austin, purple Mid-South Third Slinger.
That's
Jack
true.
Weaver, whatever color Mid-South Third. It would make it a little bit easier here.
Maybe a little bit, but I still like the paint schemes as well. And you know what? They're getting us to talk about them, and so that's half the win as well. You know who we need to talk about is Carl Kilgore. He has dominated this feature event thus far. Out front, you see 21 on the door of that car. Been looking very strong, nailing these restarts. He has been pulling away from Jamie Massey in the last several restarts. That number 2 car looks very stout, but still, Kilgore been really good on these restarts. And when he sails it down there into turn number 1, he drifts it up the racetrack, gets that moisture, and gets a great run off of the second turn and is able to gap the field. We'll see if he does that once again. Dips it down, takes the ride down the banking, and sails it down to turn number 1, holds the bottom, and now lets it drift up into the grip. There you see third place running Corey Austin, Mattingly, Hargraves continue in the top 5. We're drafting them down into turn 3.
As you see, William Hargraves, he's your points leader right now. He's in 5th place as, oh man, a little bit of a mistake there. Now Davin Cardwell trying to sneak in the bottom of here. Oh, look, Hargraves, it looked like hit something there and having some problems now in that 71 machine as he drops back into 7th.
Almost looked like a tire was down or something on the 71 car. That was odd as Kilgore leads him down the front straightaway. But right now, Massey keeping pace with the race leader. We work lap 20 of 30. Top 2, nose to tail down the back straightaway. Massey is right there, ready to pounce. If Kilgore gets out of the groove at all, makes any bobble, he will pounce and try to take that race lead as he takes a look to the inside. Off of turn 4, down the front straightaway. Top 2 back into turn 1.
Kilgore, Massey, 10 to go. Those two battling throughout. Corey Austin, he's in 3rd. Mattingly, Cardwell, that's your top 5 as, oh no, there's problems throughout the field as there's cars moving up. There's a lot of cars making some big falls, but right now, Kilgore, Massey, they're not making any falls at all as they're still sitting 1 and 2.
They've got Corey Austin just back there behind him as there. Massey took a look to the inside off turn number 2. Could not get there. He's going to arc up a little bit higher into 3 and try to get the nose to the inside of the leader off of turn 4. Can't get there. Masterful job through that corner by Carl Kilgore as he leads them back down into turn number 1. He'll get right next to that concrete. The 2 of Jamie Massey trying to keep the car from getting loose and trying to get the forward drive. Could not get it done. Carl Kilgore out 3 car lengths as they hit turn number 3.
Kilgore goes to the bottom again as he's still looking strong. 7 to go. He's still up in front. Massey in 2nd. Here comes Corey Austin. He's still trying to make a move. And another mistake for him. Looks like he scrubbed off some time there, getting a little loose into the corner. Kilgore, he's out in front as, Kilgore pulling almost a 2-second lead over the rest of the field here, except for Jamie Massey, who's right there with him.
Yeah, just a half second back for Massey in position number 2. As we look back a little bit deeper in the field, you can see Depanay in the 21H working the top of the racetrack right next to the concrete. He's got Jacob McCoy chasing him down, and then it's Brennan Weeks for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers working the middle of the racetrack. Depanay really letting that right side get next to the concrete, letting it all hang out as he raced through 3 and 4. He'll do the same down here in turn number 1. As McCoy comes to the inside, Depanay says, you know what, we're not at a car show anymore. We can scrape that concrete all we want as long as it's fast. He works the top off of turn number 4, continues to have McCoy to his inside, advantage with that momentum running the top.
Jeremy Vaughn, well, we're back. Had a little bit of technical issues there for Vaughn as he's trying to battle out with Brennan Weeks. Weeks in the 11th spot. They're trying to sneak their way into the top 10. But man, oh man, look at the traffic in front of them as all of these cars are still evenly matched. And here comes Surratt, here comes Bergeron. 2 cars that had some problems. We're 3 wide for the 10th spot.
Oh my, it is getting fast and furious here. Deeper in the field, McCoy, that silver 14 is your 10th position car. They're all over just behind him as he'll slip up the racetrack around the outside. Here comes Weeks. Here's Vaughn in the mix. And Bergeron still trying to charge forward. They're all over each other. Out front, though, it is still a half-second advantage for Carl Kilgore in the 21 as a white flag flies here at Weedsport for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Final time down the back straightaway.
Kilgore goes through 3 and 4 the 21 as ran a mistake-free race, and it shows here tonight. Carl Kilgore parks it in victory lane for the 2nd time this season in the Street Stock Division. He's going to come home in first, Massey in second, and Corey Austin third. Cars having problems getting to the checkered flag.
Oh, we made a Talladega Nights. Oh boy, what a finish. Depanay going to limp it across the line. Well, I thought we were going to have a Talladega Nights moment there, Alex, as we referenced that earlier tonight, and we had a wild pile up there at the finish as they will head off. We'll have our next broadcast coming up here in a short bit, and we'll have a chance to talk to our top 3 finishers here in a few moments for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks tonight. You see Carl Kilgore, your winner here tonight for Precision Performance Racing. Jamie Massey finishes 2nd, Corey Austin 3rd, Davin Cardwell 4th, and Stephen Moore claiming a top 5 spot after starting 10th.
William Hargraves comes home in 6th, Corey Sibley 7th, Alex Bergeron sneaks his way into the top 10 in 8th, Jacob McCoy 9th, Brendan Weeks in the top 10.
11th place going to Jesse Hoke, 12th to the 83 of Brian Taft. He started 24th, and he is a hard charger tonight, gaining 12 positions to put that 83 in the 12th spot. Brian Beertzer was 13th, Jonathan Wiley 14th, and 15th to Jeremy Vaughn.
16th, it'll be Donnie Batiste, Jack Weaver, Blake Depanay, Kyle Surratt, and Trevor Mattingly. That was your 20th, top 20.
And then Sage Luther, Eric Skolf, Daniel Stifler, Jordan Gage, and Garrett Marshall completing the running order here tonight for the Miller Family Trucking Dirt Street Stocks at the Weedsport Speedway for the World of Thunder. So we'll have a chance to hear from our top 3 here tonight, Alex, as a great race here in the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks. Let's head over Alex Robinson to talk to tonight's winner, Carl Kilgore in the 21.
Locking up his 2nd win this season, the 21 machine. It's Carl Kilgore, and once again, mistake-free race and another fast car for another good win.
Oh, yeah, man, we had a rocket ship all night long.
Now, this track we saw was taking some wear and tear, but you didn't leave that bottom side at all. Did you think, was that just where your car was set up, or did you just not want to try the top because of how deadly that outside wall is?
And we, this past Wednesday night, we run the Wednesday Night Street Fight Series here, and we was hooked around the bottom all night long, so we done some more testing for the bottom, and that's just where we plan to be all night. And the only thing that's treacherous around the bottom of the racetrack is that turn for a wall, and it's scary as hell when you lead.
And now, man, you take over a half-second win over Massey Austin, but they were giving you some battles there throughout the race, but man, you shut the door on them. And what was going through your mind there, that final restart, when you knew those guys were knocking on your door?
Oh, man, you got to put that to the back of your mind and just hit your marks. That's the only thing you got to do here. It's a real technical racetrack, and hitting your marks is all it's about.
Well, with a good car and a fast car at that, who's behind you? Who you got to thank?
Yeah, we got to thank SRI, Small Change Designs for getting this wrap put on, Wizard Whip Pit Lights, ML Performance, Renegade Racing Fuel. Got to thank Extreme Savage for all they do for us as a team. We got to thank Raise Energy for coming aboard with us also, and got to thank my man Jamie for helping me out in this race.
Well, congratulations. That is your winner for the 2nd time this season, Carl Kilgore. Now, Sean, you're with our 2nd place finisher of Jamie Massey.
Catching up with Jamie Massey here. Jamie, that number 2 car looks strong here tonight, but teammate, friend right there in front of you just never quite could get a good enough run on Carl Kilgore to get the 2 right out front.
Yeah, man, he was a little better than us. I felt like there was a time or two I could have drove under him, and I was letting him know in Discord, that I wasn't going to race him too hard with him leading the points, and I missed the first race, so I was I was really content, but at the same time, he was just as good, maybe a little better than me, so I just didn't want to put him or myself in a bind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there were a couple times, though, you got your nose to his inside, and we know that this racetrack, he described it perfectly, called it a technical racetrack, but it gets very, very tight, especially running that bottom and that concrete down there. So how careful did you have to be while you got your nose there, you're taking a look for the lead, but you didn't want to cause problems?
That's exactly. I didn't want to cause. I had a run on him where I could have forced it in there, and if it had been anybody else, I would have. But I was I was better than him in 3 and 4, and because he was a little scared to get down to that bottom inside wall. We kind of talked about it in Discord, and I didn't really have nothing to lose, so that's where I was beating him, and I got under him there, and I was like, "You're safe." I mean, I don't want to wreck us, so it was what it is. It was his night to win, and he got it done, and we came here to run 1-2, and that's what we did.
There were some times earlier on in this race, there was some 3 wide racing going on with yourself involved in that. How tight was that at portions here in the first third of tonight's feature event?
I passed for second, I know, 4 times, and I kept having to give them spots back, and we were 3 wide there. I was just closing my eyes and hope for the best. Dude, it's tricky, man. If you ever get your nose in it on 1 and 2, you pretty much can make that man, just like in the heat race. I got under Will, and Will's a very talented racer, and I got under him, and that was the only thing. That's the only reason I won the heat. I knew that if he ran 1 and 2 hard, I could get under him, and it's just luck, man. I got on the bottom early, and Carl hooked me up with a setup because I don't really run Weedsport much, and I don't even really run street stocks much anymore. But he hooked me up, and man, that thing was set on kill, and we did what we came to do.
Well, he helped out with the setup. Who else do you need to thank for the good, strong podium run here this evening?
I got to thank all my teammates over at Extreme Savage, and I want to thank SRI, Small Change Design, Lizard Lit Pit Lights, ML Performance, and Renegade Race Fuel. Also want to give a shout out to my team, my street stock team, there at H&L. And I'm sorry my little girl's screaming, but she was sitting in the All right, man. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
She'd be happy if you won. That's the difference between. No, I'm just kidding.
She's mad.
Jamie Massey, you're runner-up. Yeah, Jamie Massey, you're a runner-up here tonight. And let's catch up once again. Alex Robinson, who has caught up with Corey Austin, who finished in 3rd.
Corey Austin, what a run for you tonight. Coming home in the top 3, and man, you had a quick car there.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. It's been a long time since I've been up there in a podium. Don't know what to say.
So, especially this stout field, you've had your run-ins with Carl in the past, William Hargraves, Corey Sibley. So those guys you ran with, but then you have the likes Davin Cardwell, Alex Bergeron there battling throughout. And for you to beat the likes of Cardwell and Bergeron, it got to be a really successful night for you.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can beat a stout field like I did tonight, finishing 3rd in front of them, that's an accomplishment.
So take us through there, especially the last few laps. You had Cardwell, you had Moore, you had Hargraves, all knocking on your door there, going to the top side, going to the bottom side, forcing you almost 3 wide there momentarily. What was going through your mindset there when you were stuck in the middle of them for a little bit?
Just to hold on and not wreck, honestly. You just got to stay calm when you get in positions like that, and that's all I could do is just try to keep the car straight and keep it off the other people.
Well, now with a quick car, I see the Mid-South Dirt Slingers famous paint scheme on these street stocks. So who's behind the scenes there, and who you got to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dirt Slinger Wraps, Miller Family Trucking, and Austin Farms. That's who helps me out a bunch, and my teammates back at Mid-South Dirt Slingers.
Well, congratulations. That is your 3rd place finisher, Corey Austin. Sean, 1 race down, 3 more to go as I'm losing count. It's a lot of racing yet, but what's your final take here on these street stocks?
Great racing this evening for the Miller Family Trucking Street Stocks, or this afternoon, wherever you're tuned in from across the country here tonight. And This racetrack, it's going to be technical, but it provided great racing for these street stocks, and I look forward to the dirtfan.com 410 sprint cars coming up here in under an hour. I think we'll have things going here in just under a half hour. So looking forward to that. Of course, the Envision Custom Graphics big blocks after that. We'll cap things off with the Mimi's Makings in Motion Warrior Logistics super late models later on this evening. So really looking forward to it, but a great show here from the street stock. Some really, really tight quarters racing all throughout the show.
And, man, with the win tonight, Carl Kilgore boosted his points up here. He's in second. William Hargraves in front of him by 5 points through 3 races. So that's a close battle for the front. Bergeron in third. So your top 3 in points, 3 heavy hitters, but then Kyle Surratt, Stephen Moore. Stephen Moore's tied with Jordan Gage for the top 5. So the battles are really close throughout early on this season.
Yes, and it'll continue on. Of course, we've got Super Sunday Fun Day again next week. And, there's always stuff going on with Ultimate Dirt TV and, of course, the World of Thunder. So much more to look forward to in the upcoming events this season, and so much more to look forward to on the Super Sunday Fun Day coming up here yet today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap us up here for race number 1 for the Super Stocks, brought to you by the Miller Family Trucking. Ultimate Dirt TV would like to thank their sponsors: Rocket Racing Setup, World of Thunder Esports League, SRT Australia, and Heatwave Designs. And let me pull up the other list here real quick for the World of Thunder sponsors. If my computer would like to load those, that would be perfect.
Well, we always have to thank Mimi's Makings in Motion, Warrior Logistics, the headliners of our super late models that we'll have later tonight. Of course, dirtfan.com, Grace Productions, Worldwide iRacing League Association, Gage Agronomy Services, Envision Custom Graphics. They will bring us the big blocks coming up later this evening. Of course, big thanks Mid-South Dirt Slingers. You see their support with all the cars. You see their support with supporting the league, SRW Rocket Racing Setups, and many, many more, Alex.
So that will wrap up race number 1. Race number 2 coming in about 15 minutes time for the dirtfan.com 410 sprint cars. I'm Alex Robinson, Sean Neestat, Brett Wheeler behind the scenes, and we will see you for the sprint cars in about 15 minutes.